Now, number 4, exorcise the demons. What do I mean by exorcise the demons? Not take your demons out for a walk, but really more than anything, a lot in my experience where people run into problems is they have demons in their life in the form of their relationships. Now, I'm not telling you all to go out and cancel all your relationships, cancel all your friends, cancel all your family members, but a lot of people have people in their life that bring in a lot of, well, we'll just say baggage, to put it very nicely. Those of you who know what I'm talking about, type in baggage. I'd love to see how many of you have actually dealt with something like this. But your relationships become very important. So really what it boils down to is the relationships that you have. And not just the relationships that you have with other people. It's also the relationship that you have with yourself. You've heard me say a number of times tonight, love yourself, right? Love yourself to have and then you'll have the courage to make all of these tougher decisions consistently over time. Your relationship with yourself, I would argue, is one of the most important relationships that you can have. But beyond that, all the other relationships in your life should honor who you are as a person and not compromise who you are as a person. And that's what I mean by exercising the demons. Exercise the bad relationships, exercise whether that's with yourself or whether that's with other people, like take them out, like deal with that, because this can create a lot of negativity, a lot of toxic energy that can bury somebody in poor health. I've seen this be the cause of a person's problem as much as I've seen bad diet choices, as much as I've seen lack of activity. So this is equal in regards to people's illness. It's just having a relationship with himself that's potentially toxic, a relationship with other people that's potentially toxic. Now, on that same note, again, this isn't me telling you to call up your mom and say, hey, I can't talk to you anymore, or your dad and say, hey, you're toxic. No, deal with these relationships. Draw your line in the sand. Like if you want to have healthy relationships with other people, you've got to start with having a healthy relationship with yourself. So make sure you're implementing these things with that warrior mentality so that you can then go have those loving conversations with other people in your life and draw that line in the sand, that line that you're not willing to barter with or bargain with. So let's talk about number 5. Number 5, very important, and that is purpose, self-purpose. A lot of people go through life. They go to a job that slowly drains their soul. They go to an office, they go to a space, and they feel like they don't have a sense of purpose. They feel like, what's it all for? And this can create a psychological effect that can be very, we'll use a new word, diseasifying. It can be very, very detrimental to a person's health and tend to gravitate or lead toward disease. So having a purpose in what you do is very, very important. In essence, love what you do and do what you love. They kind of go both hand in hand. Every Monday when I come on this show, I love what I do, so it gives me a great sense of purpose to be able to help people. Remember, our mission is to save 100 million lives. That gives me great degree of purpose, a great degree of satisfaction, a great degree of happiness. I'm very blessed to have that in my life, and I want that for you in your life. And if you many people I've actually counseled people who've come to see me. It was time for a job change. They were in one of those jobs that just didn't match who they wanted to be. It didn't match the level of health that they wanted to achieve. And sometimes that's a really tough position to be in, because if you are in that kind of a position, but you have this job that supports you and gives you an income, now you have to make a tougher decision, which is, do I keep doing this for the rest of my life, slowly deteriorating my health, or do I make a harder decision today and make that change? And so this is one of those kind of soul-searching elements to achieving a highest level of health, is to really identify with yourself, be honest with yourself about your purpose, about what you're doing, about whether or not you're happy in doing that. But we're entering a new age of what I like to call customization, an age of functional medicine, if you will, which is the needs of the individual far outweigh the needs of the research study that tells all of the people how to behave in a certain way or do a certain thing. And what I mean by that is I'm going to get off topic a little bit here, but when we're doing research studies in science, you'll see. So, for example, we take 10,000 people, we give them this drug or we give them that supplement, and we measure the outcome, right? And the outcome is never black and white. The outcome is usually, okay, well, we took this 10,000 people, and 2,000 of them had bad side effects to the medicine during this study. 1,000 of them had this effect, 1,000 of them had this effect, but 10% of them had some improvement, right? It's very, very mixed, right? And so then what happens is the statistician comes in there and manipulates all the stats to make it either look good or look bad, depending on who's publishing the study. In the age of that's research, right? But it's research that isn't designed around you. So the ultimate study is you studying yourself and paying attention to yourself and these 5 decisions, or these 5 lifestyle purpose, or these five lifestyle behaviors on a daily basis, and paying attention to them and seeing how it impacts you, not waiting around for somebody else to tell you, well, this study over here showed that these people over here benefited from X, Y, and Z, but for you to study yourself, right? Which again goes back to that warrior mentality of self-education and paying attention, right? But these are my top 5, right? Warrior mentality, making sure that you're not eating food that isn't healthy, common sense rule, and if food bothers you, pay attention to your body. Number 3, motion. And motion can be exercise, it can be your habits, the way you set yourself up, with the job that you have. Number 4, relationships. Really, number 1 is the relationship that you have with yourself, and then from there you can go on and you can assess and draw that line in the sand with other relationships. And number 5 is sense of purpose. Hey, and if you missed the earlier part of this series, click right here so you can go back and get caught up. The information there might be critical to helping you on your path to better health. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe for updates below. Have a great day.